Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Xavier Gilchrist, and today I'm with,
Noah Tessier.
and we're doing a podcast about. Well, I was doing my real estate co-op here with Feely Group, and you had a similar journey as well.
Yeah, so when I was in high school in my grade 12, you're in grade 12, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
about to
so
graduate.
about to graduate June 18th, right?
Yep, mark the date.
Same day as our golf tournament,
It's unfortunate.
unfortunately. But yeah, so in grade 12, for me, I did a co-op with Martin Clément and Christian Charon, which are in the same office. And yeah, that's where I started. So for me, unfortunately, my co-op got cut short because of COVID.
Fortunate.
Well, I'm one of those, 2020. So I did so I think the semester starts in January,
Yeah.
and I ended in March.
Oh wow.
Right before March break. That's where everything shut down. I had my last open house, and then I that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was unfortunate, but in those 2 months, I guess, I learned a lot and it gave me the answers I wanted.
You are also doing it what full time because it was 4 periods.
Yeah, so for me, it was full time. Sometimes what I would do is instead of starting I don't know if the school knew about that, but Marty would, like, I don't know if the school would knew about that, but I would sometimes start like at 10,
That's fine.
but I would end my day like at 8 o'clock.
Oh wow.
So sometimes we would go like on the road all day, and I would just hop in with Marty or Chris, whoever had the more interesting day that day. I would hop in the car with them, and like we would leave, go to like Alexandria, have a home evaluation there, then come back to Vars, have a showing there, and like just bit all over the place.
Wow.
So it was interesting because I really got to know the whole real estate business pretty much, and not just the office work, I guess we
Yeah.
could say. I did a lot of that too. Also spent time with Rahel, the admin. So that's where I learned how to do the paperwork and use the like metrics that was at the time. Still have metrics, now we have Realm as well, but like the system to search up houses, sold listings, upload listings. She showed me all of that. So when it came time to do my real estate course, I already knew most of the forms, how to fill them out, the more common ones. I knew how to fill them out. But also when I got licensed, I knew how to write an offer already. I knew how to do a lot of stuff. So that was very advantageous
Yeah,
for
very
me.
useful.
Yeah, for sure.
And then after that, you did your license with, was it Humber?
Yeah, so it was Humber College. I think now they're offering it at a couple colleges,
Yeah,
or they're
I'm like,
talking about it. Or,
I'm looking into that right
yeah?
now because that's what I'm going to be doing
Okay.
in the summer and after. So,
So
I'm
how does it work? I think Algonquin's gonna give it, right?
yeah, they're releasing the news for it or how the program's going to work. I think on July, early
Okay.
July.
Yeah.
And then Humber is also switching their format. I'm
Okay.
still looking into that.
So would Algonquin be the same setup as everything would be online, or would you have like in-person classes, or you don't know?
I don't know yet, but if I'm guessing, I think it'd be a little bit of online and in person.
Okay.
Almost like it seems to me that it's almost like a regular like diploma
Okay.
kind
So it
of
would
thing.
be like really like a 2 year class.
I think it's theirs is 1 year,
Okay.
but yeah, pretty much like a regular.
Okay. So for me, when I was doing it with Humber, basically you register online, you get accepted, and then you start your classes. You have 5 classes and two simulations, they call it. So you're basically spending a whole week on Zoom from 9 to 5 with a couple breaks here and there, but you're on Zoom for like 8 hours.
Wow.
So those were long days. You learn a lot though on them because you have like the teachers that talk to you and everything. But for me, everything was just slides. So
Wow.
you would be looking at slides and reading slides all day. So I think if you could have a teacher that actually teaches it,
Yeah.
it would be a lot more advantageous than reading a slide for a year straight.
Probably better, but well, what? And then after you graduated,
Yeah.
did you go directly with the Feely group?
So for me, I started out. So I was still working as like admin support for Marty.
Yeah.
Was doing like newsletter, just little things with him. So for me, the choice was pretty easy. Brokerage rise. Like a lot of people will go around interview a
Did
bunch
you
of
interview?
brokerage.
Did you?
No, no. I knew Marty was my mentor,
Yeah.
and I could trust him. So went straight with him. We would meet once a week, one on one, plan out my week, how I would be doing it for the week, and yeah, that's how I started out. Um, on a team setting, I think when you're starting out, I believe that you're very advantageous to be on a team versus going out on your own. So here in this office, if you join like this office as a solo agent, you will still have the support from everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's very friendly. Like, yes, you're in competition with like everyone, right? But I don't feel that competition when I'm here. Everyone's here to help each other, and like if you have questions with paperwork or something like that, there's always someone available to help you out.
True.
But if you're in a team setting, you have someone a bit closer that's going to really be able to teach you the routes and teach you where to go with the paperwork, how to do your appointments, and all those things. So you have more coaching, I would say, on a team setting. So for us, you have access to a lot of stuff. You have the trainings that are available to you with the team that are good. And you also have, like, for us, we have access to leads, which is the hardest part of being a realtor, is getting leads.
Yeah.
Because if you have no leads, you have no clients. If you have no clients, you're not selling homes.
It's true.
Yeah. So when you start out, you get a lead. A lead is just someone that shows up and is generally interested or showed some interest in real estate. Then you try to bring that lead into a client. So the difference between a lead and a client is the client is working with you. So you're showing them houses, or you have like their house listed. And then once they find a house that they like, put in an offer, you do your due diligence, like inspections, financing, all that, and then you sell the house.
Yeah.
So it's a long process from being a lead all the way to making the first transaction.
Yeah.
So my first client was I was looking with them for about a year and a half to 2 years
That's pretty long.
before they pulled the trigger. And so I was showing them houses I would say every 2 weeks. They were looking for something pretty specific with a restricted price range for what they were looking at. So we were looking at houses, but they ended up not even buying a house. They ended up buying a duplex
Oh wow.
in Rockland. So for 800 grand instead of their budget of 600 grand.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, they call me and they're like, "We found a house we really like. Can we go see it?" Like, sure. It was in Wendover, a house by the water with 4 acres of land. It was a really, really nice property, and visited it, made an offer, got accepted, and for a long time that was my highest transaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to hold on to those clients and keep in touch, even if you just call them here and there, because for sometimes we weren't visiting houses for like a month or two, but they're still looking. You can see they're still looking at their portal. So you reach out here and there. Hey, any questions on the listing you saw, or just anything to stay in contact with them. So when the right time comes, well, they still call you.
That's good.
Yeah, but they can take a while before those clients actually
Yeah, a
pull the
year or
trigger.
two. Yeah, that's long.
Yeah, so I think that was the long. No, I have a couple that have I've had on like searches for more than a year that pulled the trigger later on. And it's just about being the one that sends them the listing and being the ones that do the follow ups. So when they think about a house, they think of you,
That's good.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you like originally when you wanted to do a co op in real estate? What brought you to real estate?
What brought me to real estate?
Yeah.
Well, the truth is, I was supposed to do a security program
Yeah.
at La Cité, except they canceled it due to like funding and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but before that, I was looking for co-ops for my high school in security, but everything was like, oh, you need to be 18 already, and you need to have like clearances. So there's like no way they'd let like someone like me, like high school, be involved in like a security type thing. So, but I always knew that I might want to do like real estate on the side or whatever.
Okay.
So I was like, let me contact a few brokerages. And then I got in touch with this one. I spoke with Kevin, and then he gave me the co-op. So I did the
Okay.
placement with that. And then now that it was, my program was canceled. Well, at first I was supposed to do this as like a side hustle,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just gonna like jump into it and kind of see where it takes me.
Okay. So your plan is to go straight out of high school, go do real estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so I have a question for you then. Do you regret maybe going straight from high school to get your license, or do you wish you went to like post-secondary to have like a backup or something?
So for me, I was always a very lazy student, we could say. And so if I'm being honest, studying for me was not a thing. Like I would always do okay at school. I would always pass all my classes and but I would never do homework. So for me to go out of high school and go to university was not an option. Go to college, it would have been an option. Like I applied
Yeah.
to a couple places. I got in everywhere, but I was like, experience is going to be worth a lot more than a college degree.
It's true.
So I was like, might as well just go out, spend 2 years gaining experience, than doing a course that's going to do me nothing and will be useless.
Yeah.
That's how I was seeing it. Do I regret it? Yes and no. Sometimes maybe I was like, I would have matured maybe a bit faster going to school instead of just going on the job right away. But also, I like the path I took. So I would say no. I don't regret it.
So it wasn't about having like a backup or safety net.
So for me, if you have like, when you have a safety net, it's like it's okay if I fail,
Yeah.
right? You're giving yourself the option to fail, and I didn't want that option, so I can't fail. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
a good motivation.
it's the motivation is there because you can't. What are you gonna do,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, it's never too late to go back to school, but for me, I thought like that was a big motivation as well. Yeah. So, I think it's a good path you can take. I'm not saying to anyone,
Don't go to school.
no, and I will never tell anyone don't go to school because I think there's a lot. You can learn a lot at school and you can learn a lot of things you could apply to the job for sure, depending on what you take,
Yeah.
obviously. But I think experience is worth more than school to me, for sure.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I went from going to initially uni to college, because I wanted more like hands-on, and then
Yeah.
I'm okay doing like my license
Mhm.
because, you know, like you don't just have to be a real estate agent with like the license. I'm assuming, if you work for a few years, you get the skills, you can like transition into like other types of sales jobs or.
So sales jobs, typically, you don't necessarily need a degree. Like if you want to go sell cars,
Yeah.
you don't need a degree. The experience of selling anything is good in every department, in my mind. Like being in sales is gonna get you the experience to do a lot of things. I don't know exactly like what you need to be hired for other sales job. I never looked, but the experience is going to be with you no matter what, in my opinion.
So this summer I'm gonna be working more of like an ISA type
Yeah.
position with the group. So what would be some advice for that? Because it's I don't know, it's a lot of calling. You know, it might be a little bit repetitive. It might be hard. You know, I might get rejected a lot. So
So the rejections, I have a hard time with that. I'm always
yeah,
scared when I'm gonna go jump on calls, and I'm not necessarily the best example for that because I have a hard time doing my calls sometimes. But I think the best thing you can do is to stay consistent. That's one thing I'm working on because I am not consistent. Like for a week, I will do like 600 dials in the week,
wow,
but then the week after, I'll do 50. So consistency is the highest, like the best thing you can do. And for you working as an ISA, while getting your license, you're gonna get the experience and you'll get used to being rejected. So when really the time comes for you to have your license, well, you'll already be great on the phone, which is a great asset to have. So that's probably the best thing you can do right now as a real estate student to be an ISA. And you're also going to learn the objections. So when the
yeah, I was
time
gonna say
comes,
that.
so the objections, it's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Getting rejected, but at the end of the day, and Kevin said that a lot, and I've never thought about that before, is you get off the phone, like you get told no, you get like yelled at or whatever. Not even yelled at, but like you get rejected.
Yeah.
They're hanging up the phone, and we're like, oh, that was a weird call, right? But you're the only one that's gonna think it over and over and over. They won't think about it. They'll just be like, that was weird, and they'll move on with their life. So getting rejected can be tough, I could say, but you shouldn't stop there. Getting past that rejection is like, okay, that didn't work. Next, that didn't work. Next, like eventually you'll get someone that's gonna want
Yeah.
to work with you. So it's just the quantity, I guess.
I guess every no is one step closer to the yes. Right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some days you'll have like you'll make 15 dials and you'll book a couple appointments.
Wow.
Sometimes you'll make like 200 dials and you'll have three people answer and tell you to fuck off. And you're like, okay, that's it. So that was your day, basically. Just three people answer telling you to fuck off. And then, but if you do it the next day, eventually you'll get someone that's going to say yes.
Yeah.
And some days I haven't figured out when was the best time to call and all that. I feel like, well, the best time to call is whenever you have time to call.
I heard that
guess.
before. I don't know who said.
So you're better off calling right away, doing calls, than waiting and waiting and waiting and then never call.
Yeah.
So if you say, oh, I'll call at 6 o'clock tonight, but then something else happens at 6, and you can't call at 6 o'clock. Well, you're not making your calls. So if let's say you have time at 3 o'clock, like, oh, I won't call now, I'll just wait. Well, just call at 3 o'clock. And worst case, if you have time at 6 o'clock, call again. You'll have different people pick up. So that's one way to do it. I say all of that, and I'm not necessarily the best example. So I'm being transparent.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the best at it, but making the calls is the biggest thing. But like the first few weeks of calling, you get the hang of, okay, well, that's the way I focus best. Doing this instead of that, that's how I get through calls faster and more calls. So when I joined the Feely group, I had to do 250 calls a day. No, not a day, a week.
Oh, okay.
Which the first few weeks, I was like, holy shit, this is hard. But you get in the habit of doing it, and you build a momentum of doing it, and it becomes easier and easier. And some days I will do 250 calls, 300 calls
In one day?
in the day. Yeah,
Wow.
dials.
Okay.
Dials,
Yeah. Well,
because not everyone will pick up. So you have dials, you have people connected, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
people you'll talk to, and then you have conversations. Really, what you want and aim for is the most conversations possible.
That's 2 minutes on the phone, right? Or
So a conversation, I think, is two minutes and a half.
okay.
But if you're really having a good conversation and you're gonna lead it up to an appointment, I would say it's gonna take more than 2 minutes and a half. But because if they're chatting and they're asking you questions and
Yeah.
like it's you can keep them on the phone longer while you're building a better relationship, that's gonna have more power to bring them to the appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I see it. But the dials are a good way to get you into it and like a first goal of okay, so I want to do dials, and the more dials you do, the more people are going to pick up. The more pickups, more conversations, more appointments, more clients, more deals.
More deals.
And at the end of the day, that's what you want. It's the most deal possible, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I see it. Being an ISA, just getting in the hang of it, like just dialing is best way to set you up for success as a real estate agent.
All right.
Yeah.
Just gonna.
So, um, with your co-op, what did you learn that you were surprised of?
What
Like
I was
when you weren't expecting, we could say.
we're expecting. Maybe I wasn't expecting. I guess to start like how much you guys work,
Yeah.
because I thought. I mean, I always thought you guys were busy, but I didn't know. Like I guess in my head it was like, oh, yeah, sometimes they work weekends, agents, and they work a little bit. No, it's really just, it's a lot more than that, because you want to do the best possible. Like, you want to do the best business, so it's a lot more than what you think. But I feel like, working more hours maybe than a 9 to 5, but
Hmm.
it's more rewarding because it's for yourself, and like you're growing your own business. So that surprised me. And then something else that surprised me was, I would say, maybe, I guess I thought that agents maybe would be a little bit more in the office, but like they're always moving around, right? But I find that's fun. Like, I think that's cool that, you're not always doing the same thing.
Hmm. So some weeks you'll be in the office every day. Well, it also depends of the agents. Some you have the flexibility to work basically wherever you want, right?
True.
For me, I focus better at the office. So for me, it makes sense to come to the office almost every day. But for some, they work better from home. So it's better for them just to be in their home office and work versus being here. But you're right, you're all over the place. Someday I'll start my day here, then go to Hawkesbury, then go to Castleman, and finish my day up in Rockland.
Okay.
So that's a day that can happen. Or I'll start in Barhaven, go to Stittsville, go to Richmond, and then come here for the afternoon or the other way around. So you're really, on a day to day basis, your day changes every day. So it's very unpredictable. And yeah, what were you saying about the amount of hours we work?
Mm-hmm.
It's just basically you're always working, right? So if you have a client that calls, well, you're gonna answer. So you're always working,
It's true.
if that makes sense. But you're right. And at one point, you reach a stage, I guess we could say, where you don't have to prospect as much. You have referrals. You have past clients that will come and they're gonna generate your business for you. You still have to call them and
Yeah.
chit chat with them, but they're not spending 3 or 4 hours a day cold calling. So that's the more you go, the more experience you have. We could say not the less you have to work, but the work changes every time, and you have a bit more flexibility. Like let's say you work more with sellers, well you'll have more flexibility. You won't necessarily need to go for showings every night if you have less buyers. So
Yeah.
that changes a lot. But a lot of people think real estate, you just jump into real estate, you make a bunch of money just doing basically nothing, which
Yeah,
is
that's not the.
that's what people show. Like if you look on agents' Instagrams, TikToks,
Yeah,
stuff like that,
the
it's like,
highlight.
yeah, so I started my day, I went to work out, then I went for a showing with my first time home buyer, then I went for a listing presentation, then I walked my dog. Like some days are going to be like that.
Yeah.
But those are not everyday things. And who wants to see a video of you just making calls for 5 hours, right?
Hmm.
So obviously you're going to show the good parts, but you also have the flexibility to go golf on a Tuesday afternoon,
Yeah.
right?
Why not?
Which you won't have in a 9 to 5. You have the flexibility to do that, but you don't see a lot of people don't see the evenings, the weekends, and all those things.
Cause yeah, you guys have open houses
Yeah,
on weekend.
we have open houses on weekend. We have showings. Like
Yeah.
basically, your work clients is when your client's not working, because they can't necessarily leave their job every day to go see a house. So you need to be available for them to go see a house on a Tuesday evening, on a Thursday evening, on weekends. So you work more when they don't work. You work when your clients are available, basically.
So,
Yeah.
do you think that when I get my license, I should, like, right when I start working and I'm licensed, do you think I guess that I should take more open houses?
So I think when you start out, you should do as much prospecting as you can
Yeah.
and as many different types of prospecting as you can to figure out and see what works for you. So open houses, they're a good way to start. Cold calling, door knocking, like there's a bunch of different prospecting things you can do, and you should do as many as you can to really see what works for you.
Door knocking sounds scary. How does that go for
So
you?
I went door knocking a couple times. I've had good conversations, but I've never got anything out of it. For me personally, I know agents that basically built their whole business based on door knocking. For me, I feel like if I can talk to more people dialing than if I'm going door knocking. But I've
Fair.
never done door knocking consistently, like going out every week. I've never done that. So maybe it will work for you. For me, it was, but it's also scary, right?
That's what I'm saying, cause
So
I don't, cause you see them
you
and
see them in person, but it also shows them that you're outgoing and you're
yeah.
there for them and you're doing whatever it takes for your clients. So it can be a good motivation for them to hire you instead of someone else. So they're all prospecting is good prospecting, but you just need to figure out which one works best for you. There are a couples. I can share you that document. There's many, many, many different types of prospecting, and I'll share that
Oh,
document with you,
perfect.
and you can go through them and you can figure out, okay, well, these are the ones I want to focus more on, and see what you want to try.
Yeah,
But
why not?
open houses, people that come in are most likely looking to buy.
Yeah.
So not 100% of the time you'll have the nosy neighbors, and
Yeah.
which is fine too because they have a home,
Yeah.
right? So even if they're not looking to sell now, well, they might want to sell later on, and they were in contact with you. They see you overdid your open house. You went above and beyond. They're like, I want Xavier to do an open house on my place. We'll hire Xavier. He goes above and beyond for his clients. So even if it's not a buyer walking in, everyone can be um, potential client down the road. So open houses are good too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I guess do you door knock before you go on, like maybe a few hours before in the neighborhood?
So what I did a couple times were when I was doing an open house, I would get there at 1:30, and I would go door knock like either on like let's say a Friday evening. I'll go door knock like the close neighborhood and just give them like a feature sheet and let them know, hey, we're having an open house at this place, whatever. If you're we're having a neighborhood preview before the open house from 1:30 to 2. If you want to join us, we'll have cookies, we'll have coffee, blah, blah, blah. And then some will come and some will bring, like if they have friends that are looking to buy in that area, well, they'll also maybe come. And that way you can separate your neighbors and people actually looking to buy. So you can focus more on people looking to buy that house than the neighbors. But I've done that, and I've had 4 or 5 neighbors show up, gave them cookies, gave them sparkling water, gave them coffee, and then I had my clients show up. So it's a good way to separate it. If you want, you can just also go and invite them and have them all at the same time. If you don't want to have them over at 1:30, you want to just be there at 2, that's something you can do as well. But if you're doing your open house right, you're following up with everyone properly, it can be very worth it to spend your Sunday afternoon there.
And what's one piece of advice that you want to leave me before I start my journey?
Before you start, so for me, what I would say, I don't know how it's going to work at Algonquin, but for me, what I would say is get through the classes and get through your license as soon as possible and start to learn to be an agent. Because the classes, they won't teach you how to sell a house. They won't teach you how to talk to people. They won't teach you anything like realistic. They'll teach you the laws. They'll teach you the laws, but they won't teach you all the paperwork. They'll teach you a bit of the paperwork, the basics, but they won't teach you how to be an agent. So I think that would be the advice I would give you if you can get through your license as soon as possible. Do that, and then start to learn to be an agent. And if not, once you become an agent, I would say start right away and go all in right away. Just grind right away. Start prospecting right away. And when you start out is when you'll have the most time to prospect. So do as much prospecting as you can and pick up future clients. That's one thing I would do.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
100% prospect.
That's good
and
advice.
I would, so you're already more advanced than all your peers, right? So, but another thing I would recommend is spend time with agents.
Yeah.
Go to open houses. See how they do it. So I would do open houses with Marty and Chris when I wasn't licensed. So I got the feel of interacting with people, seeing how they do the open house, how they market it. So you get all that experience before even being an agent.
I also do want to thank you for taking let me out on a few showings and like inspections. It was cool to see, and get out of the office.
It's gonna be the funner part, I guess, of real estate is obviously going for showings, inspections, all that. Especially your first couple inspections, you learn a lot.
I did, yeah.
And it also shows you where to look, right? Because you'll look, okay, well, that inspector looked there to see if this was right, look this, and those are things you can point out in the future to your clients. So they can, when you're doing your showing, can be like, okay, so I'm not an expert, because you're not an expert, right? But from what I can see, you might have trouble with this. Like, this could be an issue, possibly.
Yeah.
We'll have the house inspected for sure, but just be aware that this could be a problem. So when you're doing it, you can look a bit more, and you look more professional as well, because you know more. Your knowledge is there, right?
Yeah.
So, but yes, inspections, those are one thing I was going to say. If you can jump on with a couple other agents and have inspections. I know you went to a septic and a well inspection
Yeah.
with me. Those are a bit more, you see them a bit less often because not as many properties have a septic and a well. But having that knowledge is getting you ahead than someone that's really just starting out because you already have that all that experience.
True.
So that would be one of my recommendations for sure. Yeah. So what did you enjoy most about the co-op?
Well, I did enjoy, like as you said, like going out, seeing different things, seeing how that works.
Mm-hmm.
But also I enjoyed, um, I guess on my own little prospecting thing, I enjoy like starting my social media journey and just posting every day, staying consistent with that. That's been great to see like my page grow.
Yeah.
And as like one of the coolest things also is like podcasts like this. Like I did one before, but this one's also like pretty cool. And just having like access to, you know, a nice studio in a co-op in high school. It's like that's I think is really cool. So that's this is definitely really cool.
Yeah, for sure. The studio is pretty cool, and as an agent with the brokerage, you have access to an hour a month.
Definitely gonna use
So
that. Yeah.
not enough people use it, and I don't. I used to use it more, but we have the space, we have the time, and it's not costing you anything. So why not use it,
Yeah, why
right?
not?
And social media more and more are going to be more effective for prospecting and getting new clients. So for sure, and I'm saying this, but my social media, I post once a month, I would say. Like, I don't post enough. I should post more. I'm aware of it. 1 week, I will post every day.
Yeah.
And then for 3 weeks, I won't post. So again, just being consistent is the key to success, I think, in real estate.
The podcast clips are good for that because you get a bunch and then you can
Exactly.
post them.
And you can schedule them
Yeah.
as well. So that's very helpful. And you just need to dedicate like 3 hours at the beginning of the week, go through, okay, those are the ones I'm posting.
Yeah.
And then next week, okay, those are the ones I'm posting. And you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. Like your social media is already taken care of. So that's a great thing about podcasting and having the studio, just doing clips for sure. That's, yeah. And going on showings were probably my favorite part of my co-op too.
Yeah.
Like spending time in the office and chit-chatting with everyone is fun,
Yeah, absolutely.
but going to see what's going on outside of the office is probably the funnest part because looking at us just at the office
Yeah.
must be boring sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, because well, obviously you're not doing much. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm not saying you were
Well, yeah,
doing
yeah.
anything,
No,
but
no, no.
you're not like you can't really be doing what we're doing because
Yeah.
there's no one else that could do it for you, I guess we could say. So,
Yeah.
but ISA is gonna be good,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
and I hope you book me a lot of appointments with that.
Yeah, you're gonna see me on the leaderboard, so
Yeah?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I need to get up there too. So
There you go. We can have like a friendly competition.
for sure, yeah. I used to still do with Josh.
Yeah.
I text him and I'm like, "You're a bit behind," and then he texts me, "Oh, caught you up."
There you
Especially
go.
when we had the 250 dials to do within a week. That's where we were like competing with each other a bit to bring each other up and make it a bit funner, I guess we could say.
There is a
Yeah.
competition right now, though. I think, right?
Yeah, so we need to have 35 conversations a week for I think it was 6 weeks,
Yep.
and the one with the highest rating, with Shiloh,
Yeah.
gets $500.
Are you close to that? Where are you at in that?
No, I'm not close. On conversations, no.
What are you at in the conversation?
I have no idea, but not near where Venetia is.
How Venetia's at the top. runner.
Venetia is at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For conversations, she's pretty high up. Yeah. All right. Well, it's pretty much all the
Thank
time we
you.
have.
Thank you for
for coming and coming to the office
Yeah.
and spending time with us. I hope you learned a lot.
Did?
And also, if you have any questions, you have my number.
Yep.
Feel free to reach out. And yeah,
Thank you so much for having me.
yeah, no problem.
All right.
All right.